Great to see you here. In the previous session, I looked into the 10-step approach to project management, and the first step was about writing the project charter. You can have a different name for the charter in your organization. Nevertheless, charter is the official name used by the Project Management Institute. Basically, it is a short document that describes the essence of the project and should provide this without technical terms and descriptions. But let's now have a look how we can define a process and its composing steps to define a great charter. In order to write an effective charter, I divided it in 3 successive steps, each containing additional steps that when we add them together, you find a charter containing all the necessary information. In this short course, I will only describe the different steps in general terms, but you will understand the essence of each step after this lesson. If you want to know more, you can find more details in our more advanced project management courses. There is also a charter description and content added to the resources of this session. The first step, or the first main step, is composed of 3 successive steps. The first one is determine the real needs, then define the end product, define the priorities. But let's have a look at the first sub-step here, which is determine the real needs. What do we mean with the need? A need relates to the problem that we want to resolve, and some examples could be crossing a river, improve the performance of a process, or develop a customer satisfaction tool. Each express a need, but when you look deeper into those elements, there may be different solutions to the same need. Just consider crossing the river. Well, we can cross the river using a river ferry service, a bridge, a tunnel, and one of my students even proposed to catapult people to the other side or use a kind of circus cannon to do the same. As a project manager, you should be able to identify if the project description provides a need or a solution. When a solution has been provided, you have the obligation to verify what the real need can be and discover if other, eventually more efficient solutions exist. After identifying the need, we can describe the end product or possible end products, since we still may have to compare the effectiveness of the different solutions. After describing the end product, we will determine the priorities. I am sure you remember, or I hope so, you do, the triple constraint combining cost, time, and scope with quality. Each of these elements can be the constraint for the project. Is it the scope, or the time, or the cost? Once you find the driving factor or constraint, you can define the other priorities. The second parameter that you want to optimize, and finally, the last parameter you will accept. Of course, accepting does not mean to give a blank check. You have to be aware that changing one parameter has an effect on the remaining parameters in order to keep the quality constant. In some cases, there may be no priorities given. In that case, cost, time, and scope all are evenly important. Step 2 contains 3 steps that can be completed in parallel. The first one is to develop the project objective, which is in fact the core part of the charter. Here we will describe in specific and short terms, without any technical jargon, what the project is about. We describe the goal of the project and its reasons by including the terms why, how, for whom, by when, and how much. The second step here is the change control process. How do we manage, or how will we manage change control in our project? Change management is important and should be formalized since the changes have to be managed correctly in order to avoid creep and gold plating. Managing changes is of key importance to guarantee project success. And the last part is to set up the project infrastructure. How do we organize the project? All these process steps brought together will create the project charter, and it will contain all necessary items to define the project so that the management and all people involved get a clear overview of its goals without complicated technical terminology. This overview gives you a step-by-step approach to write a good charter. Of course, you can use this template as a guiding process for creating your charter. You can adjust it to your specific needs and update it whenever you find things that can be improved. At the end of the three-step process, you'll get your project charter. That was all related to the charter in this course. As I specified before, you can use the added template, and when you want to learn more about creating the charter, you can find more information in our extended project management courses. Keep on going, you're doing a great job, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next session. Thank you, and bye-bye.